I've known Dan pretty much my whole life, and when he went through this, I was praying at church and hoping he'd get out and hope he'd be able to get out alive.
It's a pretty incredible story. It's almost like unbelievable sometimes when you hear the details of it and what happened. Dan should not have survived what he went through. He shouldn't have walked out of there alive, but he did. It's just amazing what God can do in any given situation.
What's really cool about this is a real guy who really went through this. He really experienced these obstacles firsthand, lost his faith, found it again, and he's still going strong. You know, that's pretty inspiring to me.
You know, living here in this country, we tend to get spoiled. Our struggles seem very minimal once you look at somebody else's. It kind of makes you strong in your own faith.
I'm playing an Iranian police that interrogates this poor guy that was captured in Iran, and he was a missionary trying to talk about his religion in Iran. They kidnapped him and they put him in jail, and they start interrogating him and beating him up, trying to get information, thinking that he works for the government.
Mostly what you see in the film is what happens. It's a crazy journey.
This film is definitely not your normal Christian film. There's some very dark elements of this, and it's a very tough decision to decide to do that.
We know that you work for the American government.
I think it's kind of difficult to put yourself in someone's shoes who's been through something like this. As an actor, playing something super emotional can be really taxing and draining. So before an emotional scene, I just try to get really still and then let everything impact me and affect me in terms of like the other characters on screen, the other people that I'm working with, and try to take everything that they do personally, and hopefully that creates some sort of emotional reaction.
Mentally, I know it is a harsh topic and a harsh subject. It's a unique thing on this production that the director did not want me to meet the person I'm interrogating until the moment I am facing him in front of the camera. So the first time he sees me as Captain Razouk. It is interesting. I loved it. Actually, I'm planning not to talk to him as Iyad until the end of the shoot. So I'm talking to him as Captain even between the shots and between the takes. So we'll see how it goes.
Camera. Action! 168 is one of those rare opportunities to where you can find out everything that can go wrong will go wrong, and you just pray that God will see you through, and things that are going wrong will come around to becoming right, and just pray for miracles the whole entire time. And this year, for some reason, has been the hardest struggle we've ever had.
During the whole process of this film, there's been so many obstacles and so many different things that have come up. I really think of it as the devil does not want us to tell this story.
I think one of the biggest problems with working on a project like this is having little or no budget. It's hard to work on no budget, especially in Los Angeles, where you can't just like show up at some location and be like, hey, can we borrow your restaurant for a couple hours and shoot? It doesn't work like that here. You have to get permits, and you have to make sure you have security there, and sometimes you have to get generators or water or whatever to provide all that for your crew. And so I think that's a big obstacle to overcome when you're filming in Los Angeles.
We didn't know where we were shooting. We didn't have a location. We weren't exactly sure how much the budget was. They went on location scouts to Lincoln Heights. So you're going to shoot at Lincoln Heights, and it's like a free location, except you have to bring a water tank. You have to bring all the stuff.
One more time, looking good, looking great.
I just loved being on set. I think it was so much fun to see everybody come together, and we had a really great location at a really neat studio in LA. It was just really neat to see the set come to life with people, you know, doing all their different parts, and once the actors showed up on set with their costumes and just got into character, it was really incredible to see.
When the footage came out of the camera, I was the first one to see it. That, to me, that was one of the really exciting things, you know, because then I would go back and, you know, meet with Shane and some of the other production staff. It's like, the stuff you just shot is beautiful.
Shooting the interrogation scenes and shooting, believe it or not, it sounds bad, but shooting as a suicide, so that it's not that it's my favorite part. It's a tough place to go, but it's a challenge, and I think that's what it is. I like to challenge myself all the time and try to see, you know, how I would react and how I would deal with situations like that.
Thank you so much. This is a wrap.
Thank you.